Welcome. Come in, everyone. I hope that you all can hear me well enough. Come on in. Uh, Peace to the nigga nation. Um, I hope this evening find well. This morning finds you well. I'm the night owl myself. Somewhat of an insomniac per se, but I'm up. I'm generally up in the wee hours of the night, and I guess that's because my mind is more active for some reason. Well, not to say my mind's not active all day, but it's active seemingly more at nighttime or in the early morning. You all see the title. I had intentions to come on and speak on these certain news items. I guess if you like, I say this is pretty much the nigger room, the Niger room. It's pretty much a Nigga Nation, Charleston White, Anthony Dewberry, the nation friendly channel, and I tend to talk about issues related to the aforementioned things. So this, I'm speaking on Charleston White and his recent resignation from the Live Nation tour. Uh, we kind of, those who are observant, because he went into the deal excited, and then you were thinking about, we were seeing the places in which he was appearing, in comparison to some of the not the, well, in after what would I say, after the fact, you can't necessarily sit on the chilling circus spots, because the chilling circus spots pay what they weigh. um, and I'm not to say that the other spots that, like surely the Mandalay Bay is going to pay, and the House of Blues is going to pay royally for the amount in which they charge for tickets and the venue in which it is. So, we say Charleston was excited when he first started off on this tour. Okay, so as it went along, we were seeing him and TK make radio rounds, and you know uh, it was unusual, at least. Well, I mean, I guess the dynamic is what it is when one is in a mentor mentee type of situation or circumstance. You tend to have to play your position, most to be more specific with it. So Charleston, T.K. Kirkland assumed the position of mentor. I get, in my mind, mentor means guide, and someone that gives sage direction, wise direction, in regards to what they are chosen to be the mentor for. And Charleston, he played the role of the mentee, and that involved pretty much surrendering the reins of I guess in the name of the comedy world, the reins of the leadership in the direction of, uh, can I say career? I guess I can kind of say career, because him having this association with Live Nation was indeed a blessing, because it does reinforce his resume, and thusly his career and his validity as a comedian. So Charleston here went on say cheese, and because we no, let me not go too far ahead. So basically, what I'm saying is that at the beginning everything looked cool, but then after a while it kind of was looking kind of iffy or what have you. When you see some of the lives that he would be doing before the shows, you wouldn't necessarily see the folks. It usually like a room of people in there, and he building with people, whatever. But in these situations, you might see one or two people or what have you. But after a while, we didn't, for a few days, I guess, because this is supposed to be a 50 some. It was 50 some tour cities, two or four countries tour at first. Then it added more shows on there. So then you like thinking, well, hell, if they got that many shows, it's got to be a certain amount of shows, but every week or what have you. But we weren't seeing him leaving out for no shows no more. And then I guess somebody happened to ask him in the comments section, what's up with Live Nation, and he said, and he made remark that Live Nation, that they pimping them. And we kind of eh, you just took a. I took well. I'd say I can speak for myself. I took it for a grain of salt, but I made acknowledgement of it because like I said, we was looking. It wasn't the momentum and the excitement wasn't there no more. TK go to the radio station, play. I guess the last time I think they were in Texas, and he had got in Charleston. They got into back and forth with one of the radio announcers, uh, and I guess if you are of the elder status, you do want to mediate the situation and circumstance. You got a younger woman, and you also Charleston is younger, and uh, I saw what appeared to be in uh, well, we'll just keep it cool and say he pulled Charleston's tugged his coattail, and tugged his collar. I don't know how he put. He gave him a little tug, attempted in order to kind of like resolve the disagreement that they had with it. But I say all that to say is that you know I observed, I guess, from what I could observe, the type of dynamic that was being developed between Charleston and TK. So fast forward, to Charleston going on, and then somebody had asked him in between there, what's up with the Live Nation? And Charles says he just kind of brushed it off like the tour is still on, whatever. He didn't necessarily say he was on it or not, but he brushed it off. So fast forward to the Say Cheese interview. Say Cheese asked him, Charles, say, I quit. Um, because this, and this. And it comes out later that really all Charleston did on that Say Cheese interview was explain what happened to him. He didn't necessarily say anything negative or attacking he just left it up to the person, okay, if this happened to you, how would you think? So in return to that, and from what I saw, and this is my perspective, this ain't got nothing, of course, I can't speak for Mr. Charles and anybody else. This is my perspective. The next day comes the TK Kirkland video, which in my mind, and once again from my perspective, was a hit dog hollering type of situation. So he like on there saying, well, this is it's corporate America, corporate America. What, my man, I he didn't know how to do business. How can you say? How can you say that this is someone that you say that you have been watching, and you've been watching him enough in order to place them on your tour, which wasn't necessarily like it was like a somebody an apprentice type of situation. The man Charleston White's image was on the promotional material for the tour, so it's like all of a sudden he's not funny. All of a sudden he doesn't know business. When you were saying that you were complimenting him and telling and saying, oh well, I don't have to worry about Charleston. Charleston has he take his people. He has his people and he take care of his people. I don't have to worry about him putting them up in a hotel. He has a credit card. Yeah. So you don't say those type of things for someone who doesn't handle business to some degree. And then it's like, okay, even being a mentor and making a wise decision, and you knowing, and I'm sure that he's told you how much money he makes. How could you rationalize and make it logical to bring up a notion? Well, opening X gets $50. Here's $250. Here comes a check for $750. This is a person who goes from just from sitting in the chair talking to people, deems thousands of dollars, 7,000, 10,000. Go to California, get 30-something thousand, but he don't understand the business. It's corporate America. That's what the alabaster fella tell the good the tiny hat people. That's what they tell the nigga boy. You just don't get it. These are things you just don't understand. You're new to this. I'm trying to get you prepared for to do the thing in 15 to 17 years. You're saying you're trying to get to Charleston's 46 years old, 56. You want him to groove in the 70s. Nigga, you grooving in the 70s like that where you say, okay, the Charleston White is popular for the culture at this point. You and Vlad have a relationship. You know what he done for Vlad channel. How much money Vlad made off of him, and how Vlad still tried to, give him the chump change. You're also familiar with the West Coast, and you say the remark Easy. Like Easy used to say, I miss, like you connected to East West, and I guess, I don't know about the Midwest where I reside. Maybe you do have your connections here as well. But it's like you say. So what you're saying is that you have a 50 to 80 some city tour, and you expect an artist who's used to having his rider paid for and all that to just finance his way through several cities and I guess 4 countries too, right? And you getting checks for $750. But what kind of business is that? Okay, we'll just go for the perspective that someone doesn't know business. For someone who I guess after the fact you say that they warned you, academics said, and that academics is another story altogether. Academics said, you told you Live Nation warned me. I went to bat for Charleston. You have this. It was enough interest in you. You didn't go to Live Nation first and say, well, I'm going to get Charleston. You went to Charleston first, and then this Live Nation, this and this. So now after the fact, where Charleston say, why quit? I'm Live Nation is not complaining. Matter of fact, Live Nation is calling the man. Several, either calling them and you got the emails. See, that's why he says documentation beats conversation. DK Kirkland had some real smooth conversation. He had the what was that movie? Get Out, where they had where the white woman had the spoon in the coffee, and you heard the coffee thing go. Y'all kids, I can't talk to you kids. Don't come at me, it's a feminine trait. Y'all kids, I'm grown. Don't talk to me if you're under 40. Brother, I'm just a regular smuggler working nigga. But I'm still a man, and I still understand the way a man's constitution. I was raised by the old niggas. So it's like, okay, now he's not. Now he don't understand business, cause he's confused on why come his money ain't coming after each show, and these are large shows that did well, and then it's not necessary that you sat down and told him, well, this is the way the money is supposed to go, because I asked you. I was in your live asking you, did you ask did Charleston did you tell Charleston this and this beforehand? Did you ask him this and this and this? You supposed to be his mentor, so why how could it be you get to this situation? But you overlooked those questions. So now it's like, don't come on the internet and respond to this. You know what happens. I mean, the track record of the fella speaks for himself. It ain't got nothing to do with I got to be riding for my man, but it's just looking at the evidence. You want to go? You think of TK. I mean, you guys. I guess you have some very snobbish. I'm a millionaire, bruh. What they got to do with the conversation? Uh, I sent a crew to your house, man. Really? You the OG? You the OG? Is this what we doing? Is this the grown folks talking? What about the kids? What about the babies? We got babies up in where I live, Chicago, Illinois. These kids is killing each other, my nigga. And here we looking at they supposed to be looking at an example of older men, older black men working in concert in order to do something constructive and to be a tangible uh, example of what cooperation and building together could have been. But it turns out to be tacky and trash in the end. I'm glad Charles came out and said, and I kept on. I said in there, I said in both. I said in the first live, and I think I said in the live you did yesterday. I said, man, that man didn't even say nothing about you. They didn't say nothing about you negative. But then you say they told you can't go around talking about the rape and this, that, and the third. But nigga, you went to bat for him to put him on. That's the same. That's an academic bullshit. That's why you brought academic name up. Academics, he makes money. He was making money, taking Charleston's YouTubes and putting them on Facebook, monetizing Charleston content on Facebook. Probably with him saying the shit about the raping and whatever, the killing and all this. I guess because niggas like to slide so much. I guess the raping is supposed to be more serious to them. I guess it's all serious, but I guess. But not even not only don't let me get too drift apart from where I'm going with it. Why would you? Why if you say the man wasn't funny in Las Vegas, and I'm sure that you knew that somebody was records these shows. You done went to Vegas, and Vegas is the show city. Uh, in a big venue in Vegas, and you allow somebody who you thought wasn't funny, who wasn't ready to. From my understanding, you had said that Charleston wasn't ready to headline a show. But yet still you had him. You put him on. He was. I guess we'll say you put him on because hey, you bought. That was your tour. You sell out tours like this all the time. You let him on, but and the reason that you like once again you said you were watching him. You told me, yeah, I kept my own Charles and he da 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 da. You know that the man was already head out. He only did 10 shows and made $10,000 a show on, and he's only been doing comedy for 10 months. My nigga, you talked about how you made $20, and then you talking about how folks supposed to get paid $50, but you say the man not funny. The man, it's business. It's business. Hell, nigga, 90% of the door. And I guess I'm sure he said if Charleston got to wait for his check, you must have to wait for a check from Live Nation too, right? So you get 90% of the door, and you waiting for a Live Nation check. But no, this ain't none of my business. I'm a kid. No, I'm not. I'm over 40. I guess I can talk, but once again, I'm not allowed to have this type of criticism. But hey, Charles White said he ain't got no problem with TK Kirkland. I don't know that nigga neither. But hell, from the outside, I've dealt with the personality types of a TK Kirkland before. Them some special type of niggas, man. So what they say, I guess they say, confidence man. Yeah, damn TK Kirkland is a damn good confidence man. Well, nevertheless, on another note, uh, good news. The bag is back on the table. Everybody was hollering about Mr. Charles. He done gave up on the bag. He done blew the bag, because he wouldn't bow down to things that he wasn't in strong belief and support of, or things that made him uncomfortable. He was being foolish, and there's no honor, maybe folks don't understand what honor is, but the man did an honorable thing, and for that he retained this respect. And when those are started, you can't demand or force someone to respect you. Respect is earned, and that was a situation and a response in which you have to get a man his earned respect. So now, due to the way he handled it, and they recognize his value, the executives over at Kick have decided that they've always decided, always wanted him to continue making content with nephew Aiden. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of like the Andy and Punjab thing, or the Shirley Temple and that nigga that they used to have in the Shirley Temple movies. They like to, white folks like to see that little dynamic where the little kid think they smart, but the nigga's supposed to be seen as subservient, but he actually the wisest of them all. But yeah, the kick deal. So he said he got the kick deal back on the table. The executives directly. You got to deal with Charles. I mean, Charles White has a name in an appeal and the draw to earn revenue. That, in my mind, hell, if you got to the point where they kicked Charleston off every platform, if he came out with his own app, the Charleston White app, where he just broadcasts his shit and advertises his products or whomever products he wants to put on there, and he just goes live. The game-related podcasts be on that app and all that shit like that. All the money go to him. He ain't got to worry about community strikes from a YouTube or having his account deleted like an Instagram or going into Facebook jail. It'll be his app. Hell, if you could have a porno app, then I'm sure that you can have a Charleston White app, right? So I mean, the kick deal's back on. Some may he didn't sell his soul. Some may say he sold his soul. He sold out. He said he was gonna sell out. He said he wanted to sell out, but the way that they want, there's certain ways. There's certain things you just can't come back from. Now this particular, this is supposed to be what y'all say about Hobie. This is chestnut checkers, and he's a businessman. He's in a businessman. Nevertheless, man, I've been on here long enough, man. Just making content, giving my commentary. Of all the thousands or millions of voices out here in the cyber world, I appreciate you for taking the time to listen to mine. Nigga Nation or nothing. Peace and love.